What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. So this one is going to be what's sold in the hard goods category. If this is your first time here, or if your first time ever seeing this type of video, these are meant to give resellers or people who want to learn reselling ideas of what to look for in thrift stores, and you can see what type of prices they are selling for. So I'm going to put them up on the screen. I'm going to show you 15 items that recently sold in that hard goods category. I'll tell you what I paid for them, how long they took to sell, what they sold for, and my approximate net profit. Now, what I made off it doesn't matter because in your area, your buy cost might be different than mine. So the most important number is to seeing what that type of item or that brand is actually selling for. So when you see it in thrift stores, you'll know compared to what your buy price is, whether you should pick it up or not. So I'm going to put them up on the screen and let's get started. Alright, so the first item up is just this vintage, possibly antique, like tabletop lighter. It was glass and it had a brass base and top. And I found this at a local thrift store for $1. It took 1 week to sell. I really couldn't find any, exact comps on it when I bought it, but I figured it was unique and for $1, why not? Sold in 1 week for $14.75 plus $8 shipping, and I netted approximately $12. Okay, next up is a vintage green uranium glass. It was just a candy dish and it had a center heart-shaped handle. So this is a category I'm still learning. There's a lot to go. I'm like a brand new beginner baby in this category. So I picked this up at a local thrift store for $4. Only sold for $19.75, but it was a good learning experience to get it in my hand, bring it home, to be able to photograph it, to look it up and learn how to do research for this type of category. It sold in 2 weeks, $19.75, $10 shipping, and I made about $13 on it. Next up is a Starbucks Bahamas mug. I don't usually pick up mugs unless they are Starbucks, and typically like the You Are Here ones where they have different cities or countries or whatever be the name on them. Picked it up for $1 at Goodwill. It sold in 4 days for $18.75 plus $9 shipping. And this I just put in the USPS 7x7x6 box. I think it's called box number 4 because it is over a pound. Most mugs are. And I netted about $15 on this. Here we have a book by Haynes. The Haynes manuals can be good. Some sell for more than others, but they're easy to look up. They have an ISBN barcode on the back, just like in most books. And all you gotta do is scan that actually with your eBay app, and it will bring up that book. So this was the BMW 3 Series from 1999 through 2005. Picked it up at Goodwill for $1. Sold for $13.75 plus 3 shipping. It took 2 months to sell, and I made about $10 on it. Okay, here's something that most resellers know about if you're new. Video games is a strong category. The Xbox 360 guitar, the Gibson Les Paul model. This is probably like your average selling price in that range. I picked this up for $3 at a local thrift store. Took 1 week to sell. Sold for $48.75 plus 12 shipping, and I netted about $39 on it. Alright, here's something else. So that's a great video game. The Nintendo Wii Mario Kart. I paid $2 for this at a local thrift. It sold in 5 days for $19.75 plus $4 shipping, and I netted about $14. Another video game, Nintendo Gamecube. Now these are strong games. Some of them sell up in upwards of $50 for used games. And I had bought this with a bundle of 6 of them, and 5 of the 6 all sold within 1 day when I each listed them. But this one, for some reason, took longer. This one took 2 months. I paid $3 for it. Sold for $28.75 plus $4 shipping, and I netted roughly $21. Okay, so here's an item that's very popular amongst the reselling community, the DVD VCR combo unit. Now, this was not a DVD recorder, just a player. I picked this up at a local thrift store. It was marked $18, but they had like a 30% off sale, I think it was. So it ended up being like $12, somewhere in that range. It took about 1 month to sell. Sold for $71.75 plus 15 shipping, and I netted approximately $53. And for this, I shipped it out with FedEx, which is always cheaper than USPS for items in this weight and size. Next up is a big key. This was like a hearing aid compatible telephone. I found this at an estate sale a year ago, and it was just in a bundle I got. So I mean, probably like $1 into it, and it took 1 year to sell, maybe even a little more than a year. This was a long one. Sold for $18.75 plus 8 shipping, and I netted roughly $14. All right, some sporting goods. Sporting goods can be great money makers. You should always look at them. This was a tailor-made Burner Plus 5-iron. Now 5-irons aren't typically going to be your more popular irons to sell individually. Usually you're going to look for your wedges, your pitching wedge and your sand wedge, because those are the most lost when they're on the golf course. But this was a strong brand and a very expensive brand of the line within TaylorMade. So if it was a 5-iron, I picked it up at Goodwill for $1.50. Sold in 2 weeks for $34.75 plus $12 shipping, and I netted roughly $28. And for golf clubs, you used the long triangle box by USPS. It's like 36 inches long, I think. So this one, that box needed an extension. Typically only, again, your 9-iron, your pitching wedges are going to fit. Other than that, the longer clubs and drivers, you're going to have to add your extension on. And typically I could ship one single club. I live in South Florida, and I've sent many to California, and they're always like in the $10 to $11 range. Okay, here's another club I picked up the same day at Goodwill. My Goodwill rarely has sporting goods, but as of recent, they put out some bags of golf clubs, so I went through them and I found some good ones. This was a Callaway driver, 11-degree driver, and I picked it up again for $1.50. It took 3 weeks to sell for $42.75 plus $10 shipping, and I netted roughly $34. Okay, another sporting goods item to keep an eye out for are the Cascade Lacrosse helmets. I've sold some in the past. I recently picked up 4 of them. I got 3 for free, and then I got one that I bought the same week by coincidence. So these are always great sellers. This is on the low end, this one, but some can go up into the 50s. So this was a gray, the Cascade R is the model. Some are like CPVR. There's a few different lines within. So this was the R model. I paid $0 for this because I got this from my source where I get items for free. Took 2 weeks to sell. Sold for $38.75 plus 14 shipping, and I netted $37. Now you say, well, how'd you net $37 if you only sold it for $38.75? Because for one, I had 0 buy cost, and another, I charged 14 shipping, but once it was boxed up and I checked, and FedEx was much cheaper, and only ended up costing like 10 change for FedEx. So that extra $3 came into play, which from the shipping, which covered basically almost the fees, and it was a wash. All right, one more sporting good item is a Mizuno catcher's glove, or catcher's mitt. This was in great condition. I found this for $3. It sold in 1 week for $44.75 plus $8 shipping, and this actually went right into a padded flat rate envelope, and I netted roughly $34. All right, here's a Tumi bag. Well, not exactly. The brand is called Dakota by Tumi. It's like a separate, I don't know if it's a separate company, but it's a brand of bags called Dakota that is made by the Tumi company. So, I paid $3 for this. It was just like a big, heavy canvas bag. I paid $3 for it at a local thrift store a year ago. So Tumi bags usually sell quick, but this line, for some reason, this took a long time. And I finally sold it on Poshmark for $26. So again, it's not expensive compared to regular Tumi bags. And I netted roughly $17 on it. Okay, here was a pretty cool item that I found at a local thrift store. It was vintage. It was called Industria Peruana was the brand. And it was a llama wool reversible blanket. And it was big, 84 by 60. That's like, was that 6 feet by like 5 feet? Somewhere in that range. 7 feet by 5 actually. This cost me $5 at a local thrift store. It took 5 months to sell, so it just sold in July. So that goes to show you off-season items, even in the summer, you know, they sell. So don't be afraid to list them right away. This sold for $44.75 plus 17 shipping, and I netted roughly $35. And this I sent out on FedEx and ended up being cheaper than 17 as I listed. So I made like an extra $3 or $4 on the shipping. Only cost about 13 with FedEx. And lastly, a great brand to look out for in the knives or the big kitchen utensils, Cutco. This was a honey oak wood block. I picked it up for $2 at a local thrift. It took about a week and a half to sell, and I took an offer of $35. Typically, some of these will go like in the $40 to $50 range, but I got a good offer. It was fair. I only paid $2, so I just took it to move it, and I netted roughly $23 on this. Okay, so out of these 16 items, my total buy cost was $35, and after fees and recouping my buy cost, my net was approximately $399. Now there should be a few cents here and there that I cut off, because if, for instance, if I came out with my calculation and my profit was $12.40, I just say $12. So 35 into $399 profit plus my money back. That's pretty good. And out of these items, 5 sold in under 1 week, 6 sold between 1 week and 1 month, and 5 sold in over 1 month. So a nice spread, good quick sales. That's how you want to do it. So hopefully you saw a cool item or a brand or something that you've seen before or something that you've never seen. But now you know that it sells, and when you're in the thrift store, you see it, you'll comp it, and you'll pick it up. So I appreciate you watching. Any questions, put them down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.